About 27 years ago, I was renting an old house in Oakland with roommates on each side of me, and my then fiance, Rich Fettke, was sleeping on the floor of his gym where he was a personal fitness trainer. We were just going to be getting married and wondering how in the world would be able to afford a place for us to live together, to rent, let alone to buy. In fact, buying was not even in our consciousness at the time. We were both starting new businesses, so we didn't have any extra money to invest or any money for a down payment, but that did not stop us. We still ended up living in a 4,000 square foot home the year that we got married with no money down. Now, if we were to start all over again today, in today's market, could we do that again? The answer is yes, and I'm going to tell you exactly how in today's video. I'm Kathy Fettke. I'm the co-founder of Real Wealth. I'm also the co-host of Bigger Pockets on the Market and The Real Wealth Show. Rich and I own rental properties in Ohio, Florida, Texas, and Pennsylvania. We also have 3 vacation rental properties, and we've syndicated ground-up developments in California, Nevada, Utah, and Florida. We just launched a $20 million single-family rental fund in Texas, and this marks our 25th year anniversary of marriage and real estate investing. So with real estate prices so high, and then coupled with interest rates so high, you might be wondering how on earth you can get into real estate today. So in today's video, I'm going to walk you through how I would do it if I was just starting out today with the same resources I had 25 years ago. So as I mentioned, 25 years ago, Rich and I didn't have any money, but we still managed to move into a brand new 4,000 square foot home in Lafayette, California. That was about $540,000 at the time. That would be close to $2 million today. The first thing I want to start with is the most important thing I want to share with you today. None of it would have been possible without one thing. Now, it's something that you might be like, I want to switch the channel because I want the fundamentals, the how-tos. The one thing you have to have in place before any of those how-tos will work is making sure that your mindset is in the right place. Don't switch the channel. I do see you out there, and I see the comments, and I see some people who will never succeed because their mindset is not in the right place. And if that's you, continue listening. So when I first started investing, I did not have a wealth mindset at all. I didn't know anyone who's wealthy. I didn't know anyone who had passive income. And I would say I came from more of a scarcity mindset. I remember when a friend of mine came over when we had just moved into a new house, when we had just been married, and we didn't have any money left to furnish it or anything. And I look out the window, and a friend of ours is pulling up in a truck, has a whole crew of people that start lighting up our house for Christmas. And I get out on the balcony, and I'm like, what's going on? And he's like, ho, 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 we're going to decorate your house for Christmas. Oh my gosh, that's so sweet. When they were done decorating, which was probably like a $500 gift to us, he then runs off and comes back with a Christmas tree, drags it up the stairs, and lights up our house. Now, when he was leaving, he saw this fax machine in the corner that we were going to sell for $50 on Craigslist. And he looks at it and he goes, oh, wow, I need a fax machine. And I look at him and I go, yeah, it's $50. And I look at him and I go, yeah, it's $50. And he just looks down, looks dejected, and walked out. And I thought, oh my gosh, that's the first time I realized I had a complete scarcity mindset. I needed that $50. So I know it might sound a little cheesy, but the number one thing that you gotta have before going through the checklist of to-dos to build your real estate portfolio is to have the right mindset in place. So what do I mean about mindset? Well, first off, it means truly believing that it's possible for you to build wealth, that it doesn't matter what the market cycle is telling you. It doesn't even matter if you have your own money. If you truly believe that you can achieve, you will. Our minds are so powerful. To think truly is to create. So if you think you can, you're right. If you don't think you can, you're also right. So what do you want to be right about? There's all kinds of baggage that we can carry around that affects our mindset and may have us think that we don't deserve to be wealthy. Or again, an example of a scarcity mindset might be, oh, this isn't the right market, or I don't have enough money, or I don't have enough time. These are not the ways that you build wealth. Wealthy people do not think this way. A wealthy person will say, I can make money in any market. And the first step would be for me to educate myself. That's part of the mindset. The more we know something, the more we understand it, the easier it is to wrap our heads around it to believe we can do it. So dive into all the education that's out there to really, truly understand what it is you're trying to achieve, whether it's buy and hold, whether it's flipping, wholesaling, whether it's commercial real estate. You just have got to dive in and learn everything you can about that. And of course, biggerpockets has all the resources you need for that. The second step is really having a very clear vision of where you want to end up. What does it look like for you? What would success be like for you? Write it down in detail, even if you have no idea how you're going to achieve it. Write down the vision. If you don't have the vision, take some time to close your eyes and imagine yourself 5 years in the future, 10 years in the future, even 20 years in the future, and what your life would be like if you could truly design it the way you want. And I mean, write it down in detail. Where you're living, what you're wearing, who you're with, what you're doing, what your job is, what your day consists of, in detail, the way you want it to be. One of the ways that Rich and I do this is we create a dream board, and we'll literally cut out pictures of the things that we want. And it's incredible how powerful it is to teach your subconscious on what you want to create. For example, 20 years ago, Rich and I both had pictures of us living in a house overlooking the ocean. We had no idea how we'd ever have a house overlooking the ocean. Well, today, that's exactly what we have. Let me show you. There's the ocean. So if I were to start all over today, I would look to solve somebody's problem. There's always a problem out there that somebody's going through. And if you know enough about real estate, remember the education piece, you can be the one to help them solve that problem. And you can all benefit as a result of it. There are a lot of people that are working so much, they don't have time to study real estate. They just want someone to put their money to work. There are lenders who will lend you 100% of the acquisition fee along with the renovation fee. You fix up the property, sell it for a profit or refi it, and then go and do it again. There are many, many ways to get into real estate with no money down today. You just have to do your research and have the right mindset. Another thing I would definitely do today is get an FHA loan. In California, you can get an FHA loan that's almost $1.4 million for a fourplex and only put 3% down. You don't even have to have great credit to get an FHA loan. So that is a really, really great way to be able to get into real estate. Just get a fourplex, you rent the other 3 units just like I did, and those units will help cover the cost of your unit. If I were, again, to start today, I would look for the problem, which is right now, a lot of people are trying to sell their homes, and this is a horrible market to sell a home in. It's sitting on the market longer in many cities. So this would be a time to go to the sellers and figure out a solution for them. Maybe you can be a wholesaler and find a buyer for them and make a little markup on that. Or maybe they'd be willing to seller finance that property to you where you can take it over and rent it out and cover the mortgage that way. The how-tos are endless. I remember when Rich and I first met, we met at a personal development workshop actually. And in that workshop, they said, all right, everybody line up. And your job is to get to the other side of the room. But everybody has to do it differently. It's like, okay, well, there was like 100 people in the room. So the first person walked. Well, the next person had to do something different. So they ran. The next person skipped. The next person did cartwheels. The next one did somersaults. Bottom line is there were 100 ways to get across the room, but we all got across the room. So there are 100 ways that you can make money in real estate with no money down, and you'll end up in the same place. You just have to have the intention. 99% of the job is the intention, saying, I am going to get to the other side of the room. The how-to doesn't matter. There's plenty of ways.